All right, good morning, good morning, good morning, my neighbors. How y'all doing? I hope y'all had a great day yesterday. There was a lot of price action that was there, and you could have made some real money. And also, go ahead and hit that rocket button. That rocket right there lets the TradingView algorithm know that I bring really good content and information to every individual. Good morning. How you doing, Hitch? All right, and then also, I have my YouTube link down below. I am close. I am this close to getting to 100 subscribers. I thank everyone for subscribing. So go ahead, click the link, subscribe, hit the bell notification. I do a lot of mindset content. And if you are away from your trading view, you can actually catch me there as well. Also, I have my Instagram, my Twitter. They call it Twitter now. I don't know if it's X or Twitter. Am I supposed to say I check my X? I don't know. Whatever. Just go ahead and follow. I always drop some real good content and information so that way you can become a better trader. And if you are trading by yourself and you feel like you need that extra help or you need a community to trade with and you don't have a community, down below is the cheat code. I am part of it. I'm one of the coaches and I do teach a lot of information so that way you can become a better trader. So let's just go ahead and get into the charts. All right. So the first thing I want to kind of break down is the fact that the Fed decision was a bit of a catalyst. A lot of people was a little bit nervous, I guess that's the word that we're going to go with, because they wasn't sure if they're going to raise interest rates, especially with the market moving up the way that it did. But since the market actually went ahead and respect the fact that it's, I guess we're going to go with status quo, we had a nice little spike up that happened right here. A little bit of a retracement, some more buyers picked it back up, and it continued to that upside. That was some real good movement. That's about 700 ticks right there from the NQ. Oil, it did not stay under my bearish line. I was looking for 69.50 to be that bearish line. Looks like it's going to go ahead and retrace, maybe even come up to my bullish line and reject. So we could see what happens there. Gold, it took that pop too. It really did. So you could kind of see pop, and then the dollar went ahead and dropped. So basically how it works. Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. It was a really good day. So let's go ahead and break this down. So where does NQ go from here? So the cheat code algo is telling us that we are kind of top heavy. We're at the top of what could be considered a channel, right? This is our peaks here. Here's another deviation of the peak, and then it looks like we're starting to top out here. So earlier this morning, I kind of put a fib because I'm curious on where we are right now. And it looks like we're struggling to break through the 236. So I would like to see it maybe come to the 382 or maybe even the 50 and the 618 sometime today. We do have some jobs reports for the US that's coming out, and that could play a real key catalyst to go ahead and make the market kind of retrace a little bit if the job number comes out bullish for the dollar. And I think that's what everybody's waiting for. All right. So if we look here, you could kind of see my Chico auto fibs are also in line with that too. I would love a discount this deep, but to be honest, I won't be surprised that they just fill some of this imbalance that's here and then hold the market up. Even this looks like a strong area of support with a nice support at 16,825. So we could really see NQ hold this position. Let's go ahead and get into oil. Oil is coming up on the 200 moving average on the 1 hour. Now let's come back over to the daily. I did kind of warn y'all that this was a morning star, right? With a little bit of a void in price. So with that void in price, they came and rebalanced that void, right? So now that they went ahead and filled that spot, that gap, you probably know as that gap, right? We had a lot of momentum here and they tried to carry it down. But why are we popping back up? Well, we're popping back up because of this jambalaya mosh pit, like whatever you want to call this. That's just a lot of orders that happen here, and it's a very wide order block. If anything, I would consider this like a weekly order block because some of these things, like I had this one, this was 647 ticks. This one right here, I would say just these two candles from here to here was 425 ticks on its own before it peaked out, before it gave it all back at 635. So there's a lot of people that likes this price. They don't want oil to come down here. Could this be where the Saudis and all the oil manufacturers are looking and they're like, listen, I don't want price to be this low so that way I can make my money? That's a possibility. But either way, we take the chart that the market gives us, and right now we're back to being bullish, at least short term, until we get to this level at $71.66. I want to see them retest that, or at the very least, let me get a rejection here. If I can get a rejection here, fill some of the imbalances down here, I could go ahead and come back and attack that downside movement. All right, so that is crude oil. I saw CLF. I almost said Cleveland Cliff. Don't mind me. All right. So gold, on the other hand, it got a bit of a golden cross that is flirted with. Now, I'm not saying that this is a real golden cross that is going to go up to the upside. Do not just toss your money inside the gold right now. But it does look a little bullish. So if we look right here, it kind of looks like a bull flag is forming right here. Nice long pull here, nice push up there, nice consolidation in this block, and we're talking about, let me see how many candles is that. You're talking about 13 hours, 12 hours or so. Well, we just been staying between 2043 and 2050. So I think people are accumulating their positions. Those that want to go ahead and scale out, they started scaling out at this level, and they're going to go ahead and reposition themselves to see if they can go ahead and continue to the upside. So that said, look for a nice little breakout probably above this 55 level with some momentum, and then we could go ahead and get above here, and maybe finish redo the imbalance over here. My target is probably about 2062, maybe even 2071 before gold reverse again. Do I think gold is going to go back to 2150? Listen, a man can dream, but not with gold. I'm telling you this right now. If you're going to play that, make sure you scale out of your position, take a small position, and let yourself go ahead and get to that level. And if you see any sign of weakness, get out of there, because this right here was a very violent and quick rejection at that 2150. All right, so let's go ahead and continue. We got ES. ES is looking really, really good, just like NQ. Again, we're resetting oscillators with this consolidation. I'm looking for it to hold this 47.65, maybe even come down to 47.63 before it tries to push up again, because I think this imbalance is still holding up the market, right? And then British pound. What did I tell y'all? I tell y'all, y'all got to keep this on your chart. Listen, the market works with confluence, and if one thing is attacking on one side, this kind of tells me that over in Britain, they're like, well, the dollar is stronger over here, or their British pound is stronger over here. So at the end of the day, I'm going to get out of US dollar. Really? By second quarter? I don't know, gold. Well, before we could get gold at 2400, we need to go ahead and smash that 2150 with some emphasis, some real knockout punch. Actually, you know what? Let me take it. I'm curious about 2400. Well, let's take this, and this is why I don't really listen to a lot of analysis, because I rather take what the chart tells me. Because analysis, they're going to go ahead and give you what they're projecting, and it's probably something as simple. Yeah, I think it's probably this. Let me see if I can recreate what his analysis is. He said 2400. Nah, it can't be that angle. Maybe he's projected from this angle. No, not even, because 2400 is over here. Maybe he did it on a daily. I smell trap. That's what I smell. Not even. Even if we did go to 2400, we would have to get, you saw on Bloomberg, I would say just take the chart that's in front of you. If you hear your analysis or someone that you like to listen to, it could be CNBC or anybody else. I'm not taking anything away from that, but that's their thesis. Make sure you have your thesis that aligns with their thesis. Don't just take their word for it. I used to do a lot of tip ranks when I first started trading, and I was like, oh, well, the analysis says this, so this earnings should be that. Listen, I'm telling you this right now, those analysis, they're just basically weatherman, and you know how the weatherman is. It says it's going to rain 10% of the chance, and out of nowhere it ends up storming on top of you. You just fell inside of the 10%. So just make sure you hold your water a little bit on that one. But yeah, I would like to see gold at least get to that 2150 and reject, and maybe hold 2200 before I start considering 2400. All right, so let's go ahead and continue this. But yeah, the British pound looks really good. It does. It looks really good. We're at a bearish order block on a daily, which is what I was a little bit concerned with British pound. But if we look at the hourly, we got a golden cross, which will let our markets in the US get really, really strong to the upside. And then you could kind of see we got these long imbalances, impulsive moves that's holding us up, and we're sitting on top of a bullish order block on the 1 hour. If this order block holds around 1.2612, then I could see this continue to the upside, and this Santa rally that we've been on is going to continue. All right, nice cross up on the stochastic, letting me know that this can continue to the upside. Actually, let me see if there's a level. I would say, if anything, we need to close above 1.2733 before we can get any further. So maybe a retest of the order block, kind of something like this to this downside. Use the order block as support and then continue to the upside. Some type of zigzag like that. All right. That's probably what I'll be looking for. Natural gas. Natural gas did really well yesterday. And I think it's part of the Fed decision as well. I gave you this level. I gave you these lines. I said we're going to come to this deviation. If you didn't see my video from yesterday, I'm telling you, hit the bell, hit the notification on YouTube, hit the like and subscribe on TradingView, because I always bring this information of the possibilities. And you can see right here, we are in a downtrend, and I did say, oops, wrong button. I did say when it comes down to it, we are completely on this downtrend. There's nothing to play to the upside. But if you were going to play to the upside, price action was starting to hit a bottom over here. And you could have easily, just on this price action itself, all my futures traders, you could have got 147 ticks. Okay, I'll take a peek at that after the show. GFI fields. All right, cool. I'll write that down. All right, so now we get in a rejection here, but remember, this is another angle of that deviation. So this could be a strong break to that side. Let me go ahead and bring my oscillator in place. Okay, so right now we are selling off a little bit. Let me come over to the daily, but we're been at the bottom, and this is what I was warning from yesterday. Even though we're at the bottom, you don't want to sell low so that way you can sell lower, right? You want to sell high so that way it can get lower and you start to reap the profits. So in this case, the stochastic is way pinned to the bottom, and it's not showing me any signs that it's ready to continue to that downside. But what it is showing me is that it could come up for a breather and at least let everybody start locking in some of their profits, maybe reposition themselves, and at least test that trend line on that 1 hour that we were just looking at not too long ago. So if you see right here, the cheat code algo is also giving us that. Let me hide my drawings. You can see we got this nice little angle here, almost like a down channel. So this was the bounce to retest that top of that down channel. If we can break through that, we'll continue. Warm winter for you? Okay. Yeah, nah, that's not gonna work. You need cold winter for natural gas to go ahead and start shooting up. I appreciate that. I'm gonna have to check that out. GPT AI. Hey, send me the link on that. I'm curious on what you're using. I didn't know there's a weather AI. I'm curious on that one. All right, let's go ahead and continue on the chart. All right, so Russell. Looking at the Russell, remember the small caps leads the way. Okay, it's been that before I got here, and it's probably not going to change when I'm gone. And look at this. We had the nice push right here. We got the cheat code algo giving us a buy signal, and here we go. It's starting to continue to that 2000 level. Now, have we been at this 2000 level? Yes, we have. I would have to probably go into my other Russell, but we were at this level, and we got a new contract. This is March 1, but we were at this level. We're looking to break that 2000. Could we break above that 2000? I'm going with yes. All it depends on is how this jobs report is, and if all the other just ask it on. Wait, are you talking about Chat GPT? You can ask it the weather now. Oh, that would be crazy if you could if you could do that. All right, I guess people are going to invest more money into Microsoft, but and then check what was it? Chat AI. I think that's the other ticker. Okay, I'm gonna check that out. I do have Chat GPT. I'm gonna check it out. But looking at the Russell, 2000 is the level. I'm looking at it. It's probably going to reject at that level because it looks like we're top heavy on the stochastic. But if we could find a way to break through that, I could see this get to around 2050, 2100, and that's going to be really, really bullish with the market. So let's go ahead and continue from here. The dollar. Listen, I am not no Nostradamus. I am not no psychic. I am just a person with a chart. And if you just follow proper charting techniques, you can anticipate some of these moves in itself. Um, Looking at this as a whole, the dollar came to a very key level. This was a daily uptrend. Again, it was a potential uptrend because we respected it and we was on our way up. So I just drew this line. If there was anywhere that it was going to break, it was going to be that trend line, right? Because when we go deep into this chart, what are we on? We are on a downtrend. The cheat code algo is already letting us know we were basically pivotal going to the downside, right? This was a pivot here, this was a pivot here, this was a pivot right here that led to this. But the cheat code algo also put the bearish order blocks on top, and these bearish order blocks was already giving warning signs, and then you got a golden cross on the daily. So my thing, when I don't know if y'all saw some of my videos from yesterday, I basically was saying that I'm anticipating the dollar to be bearish. And since we're above here, the only way I'm going to end up being bullish is if it breaks above this level. Y'all could go ahead and watch the video. I did not draw this line and levels after the fact. I drew these lines on the video when none of these candles are there. So with proper charting techniques, you'll be able to anticipate and borderline weatherman channel your charts and be able to see where the direction of market is going. So as of this point, now that we're kind of making this angle and we're officially making new lower lows, the first thing I'm going to be doing is probably looking at this angle as a potential downtrend. Like this is probably where we're going to be continuing. Nice break here. I had this 102 level because this looked like a very tough level here, here, here. I've had this for almost, I think, a month. And I think I did say I was targeting a dollar, which would bring us back to July 2023's numbers. And we got to get past here. This is the next one I think is going to be tough on the daily. We're going to have to get past right here about 101.802. Good morning, Casey. How you doing? But the challenge with this one as a whole is that there's not a lot of good news in the economy. I'm not going to lie to you. It's almost like I'm skeptical bullish. I'm sorry, skeptical bearish on the dollar because I really want to hear, hey, we're about to get cuts. And I think that's why the market, maybe the market's thinking just like me. We was waiting for the Fed to be like, you know what? I think we did enough. Now we're going to plan out our cuts. And we didn't get none of that information to a certain degree. So let's see what happens when it's all said and done. I am bearish on the dollar the moment we broke back under 103.49, and it did take a catalyst like the Fed decision to finally get us under that level. So that said, let's go ahead and get into some charts. I gave you a couple charts earlier. Where did I put my chart? Where are you? Not this, not this. Where did I put it? Where did I? Oh, it's over there. Yep, there it is. All right, so I gave you a couple of tickers yesterday. One of them was Johnson Controls. Oop. Okay, I cannot type. All right, Johnson Controls. And if we look at this chart, it looks like we're trying to make a nice push up. And with the Fed decision in place, I do think that it is going to try to make a nice little attack after earnings because they are paying dividends. Now, this could be just a dividend run and then they're done. Their earnings wasn't great, but this is a company, and like I said, a company that makes money. That's probably the most critical thing when it's all said and done. Oh, you know what? I got rid of my chat by accident. Hold on. Let me put that over there. All right. Where it is. And boom. Okay. I cannot see my chat right now. And that is interesting. Hold on. Bear with me. I'm going to figure this out. Where are you? Because I know Casey's probably giving me some gems right now to go over. What just happened? Oh, there we go. Live. Oh my God. What did I? Oh no. Hold on. I think I closed the wrong window. Continue current stream. Okay, there we go. All right. Woo. Okay, I figured the problem. My bad. All right, so all right, so Casey gave us a couple of tickets in there. I got that. Hey, good morning. I appreciate you. Yeah, just go ahead and follow me. I also have my YouTube and everything down below, so I appreciate that. Thank you. Um, so I'm looking for Johnson Controls to go ahead and continue to this upside. It's already starting to feel the imbalance that it put in on the daily. And I do think before they drop it any further, I think this imbalance is going to get filled. I don't think it's going to get past the 200, which I gave warning on, right? Here's my level from yesterday, 57.62. I'm looking for that to be probably the rejection area when it's all said and done. Oh, Casey, you giving me all type. I had Costco up. Look at that. Great minds think alike. Well, but I still got some of your other stuff, Casey, that I did not finish go through before we get deep into the weeds of that. All right. Let me just add another window, I guess. Uh huh. And let me go get your other list. Good thing this thing operates a lot like Chrome. Shout out to TradingView for doing that because this thing reminds me of Chrome so much. All right, boom. And let me go to that stream from the other day. So you want me to? Cause you gave me a lot, and yesterday's video, Casey, I did go over your ANF crowd and fast. If you want to go check that out. So I'm going to leave out Hilton, IT, and Marriott for another day. Then let's go through your current one that you have. So he has AVGO. If you don't know who that company is, that is Broadcom. They're the ones that actually does the modems inside of your cell phones. They've been around forever. All right, going all the way back to the days of Qualcomm. And if we look here, he is aiming for an entry at 1117 with a stop loss at 1050. 1117. I'm not gonna lie. I would say we're already there. Like I could see this weekly. Yeah, I don't know. So your challenge is we're between the daily take profit TP4, which your target you're aiming for 1168. So this is going to be a long-term hold, probably even further out. So I'm thinking maybe your weekly, like you got to go further out on this one. So I'm thinking if you're looking for that 68, that'll be TP2 with the weekly doing this on the uptrend. RSI's pointing up. MACD's pointing up. You got CC swing, squeeze. Everything's pointing up. We're in this upward channel. I would say you're probably already close to entry. The best entry was probably when the Fed decision was going to be in place. Get a lot of time when it was all said and done, and that would have been perfect. But unfortunately, we are here. Let me see if I can find an entry on the hourly because we kind of consolidated. Let's see if we can get something. Oh, actually, you know what? Wait for dividends. I will not be surprised. There'll be some profit taking it. Yeah, this thing is way talking about batting out. That's a home run hit out of the park. Um, I would say with dividends coming up on December 7th, that's the ex dividend. Oh wait, why it says December 7th? Oh, my bad. I didn't click the button. December 19th, right? So if with the ex dividend date being December 17th, I would say, or December 19th, I would say maybe wait for like December 15th, 17th, somewhere a little before it. Was that Tuesday? So that's December 18th. So Friday would make it December 15th. So wait for all these people that's piling in, right? They're probably going to come for dividends and it's probably going to pull back somewhere around this ballpark, maybe even come back for this imbalance. So I would say maybe wait for 1037 before you get in, and then you have a take profit of 1168. That will be key. So if Casey, if you're not already in it, then I would say maybe wait for the dividends because I will not be surprised with such a run up that they're going to probably try to take some of the profit off the table. All right, so that's AVGO. Um, Costco. I kind of snuck in a little secret. I usually watch for dividend stocks to see when they pay out the dividends. Keep that all to yourselves. Shh, don't tell nobody. All right, so Costco on this regard, Costco has earnings that's coming up, and that is today or tonight. So you are aiming, which I'm pretty sure Costco is going to do well on their earnings. They always do. You are aiming for 714 with an entry at 745. Pre-market looks like it's heading there. So I think that's a good entry. Let's see if I can find you some levels. Let's go to the weekly. 713 you said, right? 713. I would say 700 because that'll take us to the weekly TP3. That probably will be real key. I like the fact that you're waiting for it to get past 66.45 because with the TP being at 64 64 642, right? This right here is letting us know that there is some type of pullback or whatever the case may be that could happen because people could take profit at TP1, and with a break above it and hold above it, it should continue to that upside. I did draw this upward trend line when I was teaching a class. I want to say it was a couple weeks ago, but this line wasn't created by me. This was all created by the cheat code algo right here. And this is basically letting me know that's the uptrend that we're on and continue from there. Now, what I do think, let me put this line back now, is that there is going to be a point where they try to retest this trend line. I don't know when that is. And that does break around 622. So if it's like December 28, a little after earnings, let's say December before we go into January, maybe it'll retest that line and then continue to that upside. If it holds, you should see that 713 relatively well. All right, and then DHI. Oh man, you loaded me up today. All right, DHI. DR Horton is a really, really good construction company. I'm a little mad at myself because I did have shares earlier, but I thought the market was just going to continue to dump like this. And the October, I forgot to look at this for getting back into it, and it is not playing solid return. They're about to have earnings in January. I'm probably going to wait for that because I think there's going to be some type of retracement, but this was a very deep retracement. I got out roughly around 113, never got back in because I thought it was going to go deeper, and this thing continued. So a little mad at myself. So let's see. Casey says 145 with a target of 159. All right. Okay, I could see that. The daily, like I said, it's been running away, so it's kind of hard to find any levels with that. So 145, you're already there pre-market, so probably get an entry there and look at to take your profits around 159. I would say buy time because I do think that there's going to be some type of retracement and it's probably going to run up into earnings. So we'll see how that goes. Let's do a bonus since Casey gave us something extra. CRH. If you haven't recognized how he operates in his tickers, he looks for small caps. So these are low float stocks. Oh, this thing's at the top of the channel. This is a nice clean channel too. It's at the top of the channel. I would say be careful with this one. 67.41 is going to be your entry. I would say 67.33. We're on the same page above my TP. Nice hold above will be great. And then we have stop loss $61. That brings us to about here. They would have to take out some of this imbalance. I like it. I would say if anything, maybe come to $62, $63. And then the last one is your take profit, $78. I can see it. TP4 brings it to 82. Maybe start scaling out as you get there. Scale out at 71, scale out at 74, and then just let your runners get that 78 for you. So that looks really, really good. Last thing I'm going to leave y'all with is something I covered yesterday, which is Winnebago. Winnebago. Like I said, this was a darling during the pandemic, and it looks like it's holding its entry level, and they're about to have earnings on Wednesday. So what I'm looking at for this one is I want to see if it's going to actually hold this level at the entry. They try to break it down, right? And we're back at that entry. So what I'm thinking is maybe a hold carrying over to the weekend. Not saying you go ahead and get something like a weekly. Listen, Weeklies are usually for something that's a little bit more of a day trade. I'm thinking you should get some time if you are going to go with this one. But this one, I'm thinking is going to get to that 78 TP, and its earnings is going to be the one that's the catalyst to it. It's because they already had solid earnings here, missed revenue, but I don't care too much about missed revenue as long as the earnings is still there. This one right here, missed earnings, I'm sorry, missed revenue, earnings. So as long as they're cutting costs along the way, it lets me know that they're well managed and they could go ahead and continue to that upside. So I'm looking for them to actually make revenue because they lowered their guidance all the way to 72 million versus this 78 and 9, which is 1 billion basically, right? So now I wonder if this number is close to what they normally are doing, and for them to keep hitting these earnings, right? This one was 1.362. They dropped it down to 1.2. I want to still see that surprise that they popped up on. And at the same time, I want to see them smash their revenue because I think this was a little aggressive. And then they could go ahead and show signs of upside. All right. On that note, thank you everyone for participating. And before you take the trade analysis, I try to do this every morning, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Allow for Monday and Friday to let the market kind of settle. And I appreciate y'all for taking the time. Don't forget to hit the rocket. The rocket helps the algorithm in TradingView, letting them know I bring really good information. If you agree, that's the boost. Also, down below, you'll see my YouTube. I do a lot of mindset stuff, get you right. I just dropped my last video, which was the midweek mindset reset. By all means, just go ahead, like, subscribe, hit the bell button so that way it go ahead and help me. I'm this close to 100 subscribers, this close, and I just need just a little bit more. So I appreciate y'all. Also, follow me on Instagram, follow me on Twitter. By all means, go ahead and check me out and have a great morning, my neighbors. I'll see y'all later.